Hey, we all have dreams, right? And our dreams have to start somewhere. That worthy idea, that thing in our mind that we want. Mine started when I was a child. It started with a poster on the wall that I looked at every day when I woke up and every day when I went to bed. And that poster on the wall was what motivated me to get up and do more, to be more, and to go out there and to change people's lives. That poster was a car. That's it. To be specific, it was a Porsche 930 Turbo. This car right here. Now in today's episode, what we're gonna do is something I could never duplicate, never imitate. This is real. I'm gonna show you how I bought this car, how that dream became a reality, how my journey is now my dream car sitting here. And what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go back to the day I bought this car, but I'm not gonna focus on just how I bought the car and that experience of that bidding. I'm gonna show you how I get every single dollar back for this Porsche 930 Turbo. I get to drive it, I get to enjoy it, and I get to get every dollar back. That's what we're gonna talk about today. My name's Chris Naugle, and this is What Now? What's next for your dream? So Steven's got the car here. So Steven, can you make it any bigger than that? So Brandon, go ahead and place a bid. Get used to doing that. Let's go 83,000 on it. Now folks, listen, I want to be very clear. By no means am I trying to brag about the car or anything else. It's a bad habit of mine. Okay, it's just something that I do. Here's my wife calling to let me know. Are you calling to let me know that there's only 3 minutes left? Okay, we're already on it. We're doing it live. Thanks. Okay, bye. My daughter loves red cars, so there's a whole family thing going on here. But the reason I'm doing this car is because I don't have anywhere else to move money. Now, listen, it doesn't matter that it's a classic Porsche. Like if this was a Kia or if this was a Chevrolet, it doesn't make a difference, folks, because it's just a car. That's all it is. But the reason I'm buying the car is because I've got money sitting in my banking system. I don't want to invest that money in the stock market. I have lots of private loans out there right now, and I'm not looking to go any deeper into private loans given right now. I'm sort of on pause, does that make sense? I'm just on pause for investing money, but I still need to move money. So I've got money sitting there in the policy, making money, making interest. And I know that if I take the money out of the policy and I do something with it, I still make interest and dividends on all the cash value in my policies. Everybody understands that. It's called uninterrupted compounding interest. So if I take the money out and I buy a car, okay? Now, yes, this car will go up in value in the future. My guess would be if I hold this car 10 years, the car will be worth over $200,000. Now, I don't know that. That's speculation. But here's what I know for a fact. I called the bank. The bank borrow rate for a car right now is 7.25%. So real quick, on the board here, I'm going to write 7.25%. Did you place that bid? Okay, there we go. There's that little beep. That's us. So a car loan would be 7.25%. I'm going to try to draw this car, and I'm probably not doing a good job. There it is, okay? Terrible. Whoa, getting hot and heavy now. This Dash 12 guy really likes it. So I'm bidding against two people. These are the same two people that I've been bidding against from very early point. They're going nuts. We're going nuts. We're at 85,000. But actually, here, why are we not sharing our screen? There we go. Steven, stop sharing. I know that. So can everybody see this? You can see what's going on here. So you see, here's the bids. We're bidding, this Dash 12 guy's bidding, and we're just going to keep playing this game. So we're at a minute 51. Pretty freaking.
I stopped sharing for a minute. I wanted them to see your screen when you're drawing, but yeah.
Yeah, so I got two people. So Steven, pay attention. He's on it. So yeah, just keep doing the minimum increases. So we're just going to keep doing this, and we're going to see where this thing settles. But then after I'm done with this bid, win or lose it, I'm going to show you how this would work. But all I want you to do now, as we're getting caught up into this bidding process, you're going to see this. It's going to go on for a couple minutes here. No big deal. Some of you will leave because you don't even care about this. But I don't think you should leave, because what I'm going to show you next of how this works is more important than you watching this charade of us bidding on this white unicorn called a Porsche 930 Turbo. Love it or hate it, Doesn't matter. Everybody's got their thing, right? Some of you, I don't know, some of you buy gold coins. Some of you invest in real estate, which I also do. But some of you, everybody's got a thing. Like, I just like these classic Porsches, and they are expensive, but I understand them. I know, like, and understand them. Law number 3 of wealth: protect your wealth by investing in things that you know, like, and understand. I know, I like, and I understand these cars. I understand the investment in these cars. I understand what they do, what they don't do, and I understand the risk with these cars, okay? So as you can see, we just keep doing this. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to instill dominance. I hate to use that word, but that's what we're trying to do to these 2 other people that I'm bidding against, which at this point, we only have 2, but there will be a couple more that will come into this. Done this a couple of times. So I want to wait. Why don't you give it till a minute, Brandon? So we're high bidder. If somebody bids over us, just leave it go. I want to get under a minute. So here's what happens after a minute, so there we go. This guy really wants the car. He's at 90. Okay. So when we get to the point where this gets under a minute, which you're going to see in a second, every time you click it, it will reset to another minute. Actually, I think it just did that, didn't it? Yeah, it went to 2 minutes. So we got to play this game a little bit, but once we get under a minute, it'll keep resetting every time a new bid comes in. But what we're trying to do here is we're just kind of testing the markets. Think of this like investing. You know, you're in there and you're seeing who you're trading against. Like if you were in the pit of the wall or the stock brokerage over there, the Wall Street. Oh my God, what am I trying to say? Forgetting it. But anyway, if you're in that pit, it's not coming to me because I'm caught up in a car, and you're doing this, like you're trying to see who you're trading against. So what I'm trying to do is who are my people that I'm trading against, and how resilient are they? Now, we did some research, some due diligence on a couple of these people, and we wanted to see, have they ever bought a car on here? And I think they had not, right? So neither one of these 2 people that we're bidding against have bought a car yet. They've bid, but they've stopped. So what we need to find is, where's their pain? So after we hit under a minute, what I want you to do is I want you to put a bid in for 91,430. Hey, while we're at it, I need a favor from you. If you could click that subscribe button, and also throw a like to this video. There's a little bell up top, and what I'd love for you to do is I'd love for you to just smash that bell so that you're notified every time I put out new content. Now we're getting down to under a minute. How many of you are like, how many of you are kind of getting into this? Like you're kind of emotionally getting charged up. Oh my God, less than a minute. Okay, put the bid in. There we go. So now we got it reset at 2 minutes. But what we're doing is we're again playing a game. We're playing a real game because it's real money, but we're playing a game. Now, why does the money not matter to me like it does to everybody else? Who can tell me that in the chat? Why is it that the dollar amount that I pay for the car doesn't matter as much to me as it does for these 2 other people I'm bidding against? Who can tell me that? That's right. Tess said, because I'm going to get all the money back. No ifs, no ands, no buts. And I'm going to show you how I do that. So to me, if I pay more than what these guys are willing, because I'm the bank always wins, folks. I get all the money back. So it's just a freaking number on the screen. Some of you are looking like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, what would the payment be? Well, you're going to find out. But it doesn't matter. Actually, it does, because here's what matters to me. I know if I buy this car and I fund this through my private banking, I'm going to have to write a check or do a bill. We do bill pays every single month for the exact amount I would have paid that credit union, which I don't know what the payment would be, $2,200. It depends on what we buy the car at. 54 seconds in counting. Keep refreshing. Stay current as we get down to under 30 seconons.
I know what this car is worth, Chris. I might start bidding myself, man.
I was going to say, there's no way this car is selling for $91,000 just to set the bar, right? These guys might think that the car is going to, see, now we got a new guy, Harry C. I don't know who Harry C is. This guy came out of nowhere.
He was in
show Harry C. Give Harry C a little taste of BYOB. Because Harry C isn't buying this car from his own private banking system. See, most of the people that are buying cars on this platform are dealers or collectors. So a collector is the worst person to bid against because they're just buying it for nostalgic reasons. They're buying it for collector reasons. But a lot of these guys buy these cars and resell them. They're dealers. So they buy them on here and then they turn around, they do a couple things to it, like they'll do some paint fixes on it and then they turn around and resell it a year later or 6 months later. That's what a lot of these guys are. You want it? So now we're telling Harry, okay, hey, you should get to know who BYOB is because you're not winning this car. Now, it's in some cases, if this keeps going, I'll put in the comment, I'll say, nobody's outbidding me on this car. And that'll just kind of set that floor like, hey, you keep bidding on me, I'm just gonna waste your money. because what they don't know is I'm getting all the money back no matter what. But I do have to make monthly payments. Like Shauna is having anxiety. This is fun, right? Like listen, money, how many times do I have to say this? Money is nothing more than a means of exchange. Money is a tool. When we get emotional about money, which we all do, it becomes a different game. Sean is getting anxious. I'm not. I'm sitting here being like, okay, what's the strategy? How do I strategize and win this car? How do I make sure that I outbid these guys? Now, you could just purely outspend them, but is there another play? Because listen, if I can get the car for less because of a strategy, doesn't that make sense? If a trader, if you were buying a stock and you had a strategy to basically make more, a little bit more on something, wouldn't you apply that strategy? So we're just trying to show dominance. You see, the other two guys haven't, but this is the thing. This is where people on this bidding site get excited because they're like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna win it. I'm not gonna win it. There's that guy again. We got a minute 57. See how it keeps resetting it too? Yeah, just put dominance in there. Just let them know like, hey man, I don't care who you are, there we are. Ooh, Hurricane 89. Now who's that son of a pup?
That's a new one. Hurricane's new.
Yeah, Hurricane's new. Okay, so we got Harry's new, Hurricane's new. We have not researched Hurricane or Harry. I don't like that, but that's just the game.
Harry was in at 82 earlier, and then he came back at 92.
So if any of you want to kind of come into this trading pit with us, what you would do is go to bringatrailer.com, pull this auction up, and research Hurricane 89. Has he bought any cars? Does he have any history of buying cars? If he's bought 15 cars, we could have some problem here. Look up Harry C. So this is research, folks. Literally, like we're just buying a car here, but I'm teaching you lessons that go far beyond cars. I'm teaching you strategy. I'm teaching you due diligence. Always know your enemy because you win the fight before the fight ever starts. You have to understand your enemy. Now, when people come out of left field or flank us, we don't know about that. So now we react quickly and figure out who they are. There's our guy again. Okay, at 96,000. All right, so what do we got? 2 minutes? Just wait a second. Let's take it down under a minute. Let's let him think that he's got the winning bid. Now, Hurricane could come in and Harry could come in, and it seems like we may have lost, who was the other guy? We may have lost Das 12. And we kind of knew that because Das 12, when we researched him, he hadn't bought any cars. He bids on cars, which, hey, it feels good. It's fun to go to your buddies at, at night and you're like, oh man, I almost won this 930 turbo. But he knew what the car's worth. Most of the people on here are collectors, they're dealers. They know what these cars are worth. Now, I already told you folks, when I called the bank, I had the bank pull up the value, and the banks value them different ways. NASD, I think, is one. Kelley Blue Book, which doesn't value old cars like this. But the car, from the bank standpoint, the retail value of this car, actually, who can guess at what the retail value of this car was from the bank? Does anyone want to take a guess? All right, plug it in. 96.5, let's go there. Does anyone guess?
That's a good question. Back in 1979?
No, today. What this car is worth, NASD or, from a bank. No problem, Mike, thanks. Well, the bank came back and said 166. So the bank will lend up to 166 on this car. Not that I'm going to the bank, but I'm just saying that's what the bank would lend on this car. Wow. So now we're 96.5 into a car that the bank thinks has a retail value of 166. I don't think it does. About a year ago, this car sold for $130,000 on this same site. So now we got a new player. So you see, now we're getting flanked a couple different ways here. We got these people coming in. There's our guy again. I think that's our biggest contender there. So go in, hit him again, 98.
B. Colombo is the first one. B. Colombo is the first one that actually bought a Porsche last year.
Okay. So B. Colombo could be a serious contender. Yeah. Okay, this ISIK guy, Gunjan, I don't think he's bought any cars.
He's a bidder, dude. He's just a bidder.
He's just a bidder. I don't think he's bought any cars. And listen, here's the mistake. Some of these people that bid on these, listen, you guys are getting emotionally charged, right? You're kind of getting excited about this. Well, these guys are excited too, because they're playing with real dollars. They're not getting all their money back for the car. Some of them have to sell the car. So that's a risk. If they can't sell the car to make a big enough spread. Now, here's the other things. When we buy a car and bring a trailer, the car, they charge a fee, but they charge it to the buyer. So whoever buys this car is going to have to pay like $3 to $5 grand for a fee for playing on Bring a Trailer. So you got to add that in, plus there's shipping. Now, this car is in North Carolina, so I'm going to more than likely just drive or fly down there and drive home, or I'll trailer it up. I'll see how much it is to ship. One of the two ways. I think it'd be fun to drive it home. It's not that far of a drive, but it's not a short drive. All right, tell me this is selling and not, I don't know what RNM means, but you see it's fun because now there's commentary coming in. There's people literally commenting on this whole bidding process and they're just like, oh, so you guys aren't the only ones watching this. There's people just sitting back watching this being like, oh, look at this. They got their popcorn and their soda and they're just having a good old time. So now we're at $99,000. Now we're hitting real dollars here. So this ISIK gun gen guy, don't go yet. Yeah, Felix said he'll drive it to me. We got some shippers on here for sure. So we got shippers. So folks, if any of you are in logistics and could ship the car to me safely. Oh, see now who's B Colombo? Oh boy.
He's the buyer.
Yeah, he's bid before, but now we're at 100 grand. So now we're starting to like get into that range where some of these bidders that are just bidders are starting to think, well, it could sell for that. So
RNM is reserve not met, just so you know, reserve not met.
Oh, I know. We'll take it up to that. So keep going. There you go. Why does RNM win so many auctions without ever bidding? I don't know what they're talking about there. Who's the seller of the car? That's not RNM, is it?
No, it's a joke, meaning reserve not met.
Oh, yeah. All right, so go 101. My guess, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, my guess is this probably has a reserve around 110, 120. That'd be my guess, but we're going to find out. Because every time we do this, it resets. But what we're going to do is we're going to up the ante in a second. We're going to show our dominance in just 1 second. We're going to go up not by a $500 increment. I'm trying to just weigh this out and see who the players are, who are not. I'm trying to understand who is the enemy here. Who do I need to outflank, okay? And what we're going to do in a second, and we're going to let it get under a minute, we're going to come in not at a $500 increase. We're going to come in at a $2,000 increase, okay? So we're going to go from 101 to 103. What would that be? 103? Yeah, we're going to go 103 if somebody doesn't come in here. So we're going to up it by 2,000. It's kind of like playing poker, right? Colombo comes in at 102. So he's up 1,000. So he just did that. See, it's kind of funny. What I just told you, B Colombo just did. So we're going to wait till we get to under a minute, and we're going to come back. What'd he do? He just came up. Well, let's just see. Okay, there's one. Oh, see how this is going now? See how people
2,500 now.
Okay. So in a second, we're just gonna let this settle for a moment, and we're actually gonna. So he just went up 2,500. We're gonna go up $3,000 on our next one. Because listen, folks, we gotta hit the reserve not met. We gotta hit the reserve too, and I don't know how that works. I've never bid on a car that had a reserve, so we're gonna figure this out. Yeah. See now, this guy M Link K has obviously sat down and watched this a few times with some popcorn. He's like, here we go, because he knows at this point stuff's getting real. This is getting real serious right now. And he knows that. So and Chris, I'm gonna hit your question here. I see you guys all got questions coming in on the Q&A. I promise you I'll hit them all. Chris Ash came in, which would be better, treasuries or T-bills directly. I like ETFs. I like it because they're nimble, they're easier. I don't have to deal with, I bought treasuries on treasurydirect.gov, but okay, so we're at 59. So there we go. So now we're at 108. Whew. Yeah, all right. Here we go. It's right. How's everybody feeling? Anyone else kind of getting those butterflies in their back? Oh, look at this. B Colombo comes back. Hit him real quick. 110.
We can do the whole auctioneer thing. Here we got a modified 1979 Porsche 93 Turbo. High bid. We got BYOB in 110. We got B Brandon over at 111. I hear 112.
Yeah. So this is entertaining for some of you, and like for me, it's also entertaining because this is just investing for me. It really is. The only contention I have here is I got to make a monthly payment back to my policy every month for the same amount I would pay the bank. But let's just say things got rough. Let's say my income went down. I couldn't afford the payment on this or the payment on my other cars. You all do understand because I own the bank, I set the terms. So if in a year from now, we go into a recession, things get tight income-wise, can I reduce my payment to my banking system? Of course I can. And if I did reduce it, we would amend the note and we would just extend the term. So instead of it being a 5-year note, maybe it's now a 7-year note. We are in control. B Colombo answering back at 111. So answer back at 113. We're still under the oh my God, what did you call it, Stephen?
Reserve?
The reserve, yeah.
I don't know what the reserve is though. I don't think it's.
Well, I don't know either, but I don't know if we've hit it yet.
Right.
Does it say anything about it?
No, I don't think on bat until it's over. They don't tell you the
Might not. Yeah, we might. That's a good point. We might not know if we're going to hit the reserve until it's over. But at these prices, we might be getting close to the reserve. Now remember, these other folks that are bidding probably know the same thing I do. This car sold a year ago at 130. So it sold a year ago, and there's been a lot of work done since a year ago. So maybe that's what they're looking to get, is around the 130. So here's what we're going to do next. We're going to see who answers back. We're going to let the clock go down. What does everybody want? Let's get everybody else involved. What do you all want the clock to go down to before we throw in our next bid? Because what we're going to do is wherever we're at, we're going to bump it to 120. How about that? I don't know if that's a smart thing. 27 seconds, 24 seconds. So here's B Colombo at 114. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, let's take her down to 30 seconds. This is okay with everybody? Like I gave everybody the option of doing this. We're losing some people, but not a lot. Like hopefully some of you are entertained, but I do want to get to the point where I show you how this is all gonna work. Oh, our guy. Is our guy the seller? So we might have just gotten a signal. Our guy. Who's the seller of this car? Oh, our Raleigh. No, Raleigh, North Carolina. So that guy that you said almost there, does he know something? That's the thing I'd be asking. Does our guy know something? He's got 7,000 likes on here. Does he know that we're close to the reserve? Maybe he does.
I think he knows it's sold for 130 last year. I got a new transmission and air conditioner, so we're getting closer to where it probably should be. Yeah.
Hope said it would be a bummer if I lost connection. So Hope, that's great. I want to kind of answer that. I'm smarter than that. So not only if I lose connection here, Brandon's on it. I've got my cell phone right here with the same thing going. So what's that? Yeah, Larissa's watching it. Okay, so Larissa's watching it. And yeah, so there you go. So I've got contingency plans, backup, plan B and plan C for that. Go to 120.
There they go. There's suspect the loaner. We'll let it go at this price.
Well, we just bumped it by $6,000.
Hey,
so
B Colombo.
We just went all in. We just went all in.
What you got, Colombo?
Well, it's not done yet, folks. It's not done.
Bring it
Make
on,
no
Colombo.
two ways about it. I don't think we're done yet.
Go home,
but
Colombo.
All I do know is we literally just came in and we just put our mark on it. Okay?
Colombo
coming in. Yeah, go immediate. And now just go back to the minimum bids, because now we're getting into that range where we don't need to show that we're a contender. So we got 122. So we're going to go $1,000. It's got new AC now. At least you want to drive it for the rest of the summer and enjoy it, you know? All right, moment of silence. There comes B Colombo. So just keep going. I sincerely think like 130 is probably the number for this car. And if I get it for 130, barring that there's nothing wrong, get it for a fair price. I mean, are we crushing it? Are we like knocking it out of the park? Not really, but it's a unique car with a unique build with lots of different mods. So is it worth it? Yeah. To somebody buying it as a collector, it's worth it. But to buying it with the ability to then get all the money back, it becomes really worth it. All right, hold off for a sec. Let's run the clock down. Let's let him think that he's gonna win it, because B Colombo is the only guy that I'm playing against. What's everybody think? So B Colombo bought a 1982 Porsche 911 SC Coupe. That is an expensive freaking car. Sean, what did he pay for that 82 Porsche? That's a rare ass car. So he's a collector. So we can establish that B Colombo is probably a collector. That's all he paid for that? Oh, I would have thought that would have went for more than that. So he paid $60,000. So he stole that SC Coupe. But I don't know how many miles it had. There's some things we don't know. But he's a collector, because there ain't nobody buying a 1982 Porsche 911 SC that doesn't know what it is. 76,000 on that one. Yeah. So he might not let it go. Well, Daniel, this is just where you get into it. It's like you got two people here. You know, two people want the car. One's going to have a price where they're just done. Everybody's got their price. I suppose I do, but you know, I'm kind of waiting for my wife to tell me what the price is, but she's not. So she's pretty much just saying, do what you got to do. All right, where are we at time-wise? 40, take it down to 30 seconds. 126. Actually, let's bring it down. Let's do tests. Let's bring it down to 24 seconds.
The easier part is getting the money back. The hard part's winning the thing here.
Oh, I know. And it gets really frustrating. Did you wait for 24 seconds? You did, okay. So here's another unique thing. So our timers are different. My timer, probably because I'm streaming, is running a different timer than he is. So what do you got? I got a $1.48 on mine. What's yours? All right, let's see what B Colombo comes back at. Now here's what we're gonna do. Next one, we're gonna go down to 10 seconds. So we're gonna start, now it's gonna get real serious here, folks, real serious. We're gonna go down to 10 seconds on this next one if B. Columbo answers back. Now, B. Columbo's probably going to play. He's not going to play the game. Oh, yeah.
We're getting there, baby.
Can anyone please figure out who B. Columbo is and just make him a call, put a call into him and just be like, back off, please?
B.
I'll split the difference. All right. Now comes the waiting game. The best part about this whole thing is when I get to show you how this works. And I'm just going to need some people to help me with some calculators, but I'm literally going to show you how to do this. So whether or not, I mean, even if you guys are buying a Chevy Blazer or I don't know, an Equinox or maybe a BMW, whatever you're buying, like I just want to give you the roadmap on how to do this using your own private banking system. Yeah. Yeah, let's do the minimum. So I wonder what B. Columbo's thinking. Anyone kind of on their mind? Like, what do you think B. Columbo's thinking right now?
Who the hell is this BYOB guy?
Yeah, probably the same thing we're thinking, right? Who the hell is this BYOB guy? Yeah, he's thinking bring your own beer, but little does he know we are bringing our own bank, bitch. All right, where's he from? I don't know. The worst place he could be cut from is from Carolina, because that means he could just go pick the car up. And that means he probably looked at the car. All right, put the link in the webinar for the chat, exactly, hoping your power doesn't go out. Yeah, that would suck if my power went out. So Steven, you're gonna have to have, well, actually, Dad, please don't let our power go out. But if it did, you know what that would mean? All right, get ready, because we don't wanna play games here.
10 seconds.
10 seconds, you ready? 3, 2, 1, place it. Stay away, B. Columbo. Back down, damn it. Yeah, no, I do. But listen, like, here's the thing. If the power went out, do you think maybe that's a sign from God? I'd probably just call it a day if the power went out. How I've done this in the past, folks, is I've literally placed my final and best offer and I've shut the phone off. And the gray Porsche that you've all seen, that's how I won that one. I didn't think I was gonna win it, but I put my final and best and I ended up winning it. Oh, Steven, you're in there playing games. We got the Peterbilt guy. Yeah, can somebody look up this B. Columbo's history here? Holy cow, wait, how did the attendees just jumped up to 104? I guess you guys are liking, this is exciting. I'm sorry that it's taking so long to win the darn thing, but I mean, listen, we'll get to it. Yeah, Daniel's like more cursing. So now we gotta be really careful. We think we've got it. What I need you to do is I need you to put in a bid for, this is where it's gonna get really strategic. Oh, he comes in at 129, you son of a pup. All right, so we're gonna take it down again to 10 seconds. You're gonna go in at 130. But what's gonna happen here, this is where the strategy kicks in. If we got this guy, we can tell he's serious, which sucks. So what's gonna have to happen at this point is we're gonna have to be ready because we're gonna run this clock down as close as we can to the end. And we're literally gonna put in a bid, but if he puts a bid in higher than us, we lose the car. So like literally it's gonna come down to a couple seconds here where we put a bid in. If good means $50,000 in $500 increments, this is getting spectacular. These folks definitely have popcorn. And I'm actually starting to get to that point where like, all right, come on. I want B. Columbo to go away. Now B. Columbo is posing a problem for me. So now I'm not liking B. Columbo here. All right, why wait on the clock if it resets to 2 minutes? Because so that's a good question, Daniel. So Daniel said, why wait till the clock runs down if it resets at 2 minutes? Because if we get down to a couple seconds, I don't know this to be fact, but there's a slim chance that maybe it'll just kind of push through, but probably not, because that would be dumb. 26 bids in the past, 1-1. Thanks, Judy. So he's bid a lot, but he hasn't won any. So he must really want this freaking car. All right, you ready? 10 seconds. Actually, go down to like 8 seconds and hit it. But here, we gotta be ready. So here, you're gonna go down to 8 seconds. I gotta, what was that noise? Was that you? I don't know what that meant.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Go.
5, 4.
All right, so this is where, so it did reset. This might just come, yeah. So, all right, so we know that we're not gonna beat the clock. This is just where it's gonna come down to, you're just gonna have to muscle the other person out. 130 is what it sold for before. So, you know, we got our support and resistance levels. If you go down stocks, support and resistance levels. Some of you watching this are just like, this is idiotic. I understand that, because it is. It is pretty idiotic. There's a lot of other things that you could do with 130,000 bucks, but listen, I'm still gonna make contributions to my private foundation. I'm still gonna give lots of money. My wife loves giving to the charities that she does and working with saving animals and cats. And so we're doing a lot of other things. And, you know, yes, we're on the brink of a slowdown. So this could be we could just sit on cash, But again, I run a pretty conservative, lifestyle. I don't spend a lot of money. I don't buy expensive things like, watches and clothes, and we live pretty humbly. All right, so now what we got to do, we got to know that this guy's going to come in at the last second. So I've got my chamber loaded here at 132. What are you loaded at? Well, what do we increase? Well, we don't know what he's going to increase it, but it's going to reset the clock anyway, I think. We just got to be ready here. There are no $500 increments allowed over 100,000. Minimum is $1,000. So there we go. Yeah, go 134 on yours. I'll go 132 on mine. 12, 11. Now, what we're not trying to do is we're trying not to listen for that sound. Holy smokes.
Got it.
Did we hit reserve? That's the question. High five. How's everybody feeling? Everybody feeling pretty good?
Congratulations. It says sold. Yeah, you bought it.
Everybody feeling pretty good? All right.
I'll throw out a congrats.
All right. So Brandon, I still need you out here because now we got to show everybody how we're going to buy this. All right. Okay. Holy crap. All right. 130. Holy shit. What's that movie where he's like saying a bunch of stuff and then he's like, holy shit. All right. Calculators. All right. Now we're going to get real, folks. Now I've got 20 minutes, a little less, to show you exactly how this works. Steven, I need you to pull up a car loan calculator, and I need you to share that on the screen.
All right.
Okay, so there's a couple things, folks. So everybody that's watching this, I hope you're enjoying this. This is not what I planned to do. I hope everybody understands this. This is not what I thought today's training was going to be, but everybody, you were all the voters for this. So now let me show you how this works. And now why you're going to learn why it didn't matter. It mattered what we paid for it, but I feel good that I got this car for $130. I actually feel really freaking good because I know a year ago this car sold for $130,000 and it didn't, and the engine had issues, the transmission had issues, and the AC wasn't working. So here we go. So Steven, $130,000, 7.25. We need to know how much would the average person, if they finance this car, pay to a bank. That's what we need. And I want to go a 60-month loan.
Yeah.
Put your earmuffs on if any of you don't like swearing, but here's what my wife said. Fuck yeah. Talk about a supportive wife, right? But see, my wife's on the same program I'm on. She knows how this works. She's like, we're getting all the money back, bitch. Oh, wow. I don't know who 911 GTS is. How much is it? $2,000? $2,590 a month. Okay, so there we go. $130,000 loan, okay, for this. Steven, what do you got there?
What, any down payment?
No down payment, no.
Okay, no trade-in. You're in New York?
I'm gonna buy it with, I'm gonna buy it with BYOB, so that's gonna be Montana.
Any sales tax?
Well, I'm not gonna say that, but you can all figure out why I'd buy it with an entity in Montana. I don't need to tell you why.
Okay, you wanna do any title, registration fees, anything?
No. 2589. All right, so yeah, $2,590. So everybody understands what we just did. $2,590 would be the payment somebody would make if they were to do this car through a dealership, okay? So that's how much somebody would pay for the car if they were to buy it through a dealership. So we know that's our baseline number, $2,590. That's how much money I'm going to set up a bill pay for back to my policies. Now, this is the cool part. So let me show you this. I've got, I don't know how much I have. How much did we figure? About $180. So all the money in my policy, my cash value, I got about $180,000 in available cash value, minus all the other loans, the other cars. I got 180 grand, okay? So what I'm going to do, folks, is I am going to take a loan from my policy for $130,000. Now, the rate that they charge on my policy is, I think, I don't know what it is. Let's just call it 5.25%. Can you figure out what would be a simple interest calculator? And you could just do this with your phone. 5.25 on one. And folks, just so everybody knows how to do this, Steven, can you stop sharing? Let's just show everybody how to do simple interest. It's actually quite easy. So how the insurance company charges interest is you would take 130 in your phone and you would do it times 0.05. Okay, $6,500 a year in interest is what it's going to cost for me to borrow the money. That's $541.67, okay? So this is the cost for me to use the money. Now, I don't have Craig on here today to run the calculator, but here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take this loan out. I know once I take the loan from the policy, my cost is $541.67. I'm going to buy the car. Okay, once I buy the car, I'm going to set up a $2,590 payment from me personally, or actually BYOP, the entity that's buying this, and that's going to come back over here. So $2,590 is going to hit this segregated account. Now, I know there's different schools of thought on this. Some people would say, just leave it in there and then just recirculate it. That's the Brent Kessler model, right? Keep moving it out. I don't do it that way. I don't do it that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to set up a loan repayment. And actually, Brandon, you might be able to figure this out. I'm going to set up a loan repayment to my policy for $2,590. So folks, every single month, when I pay my policy back, I now will have $2,590 available. Knowing that out of that $2,590, $541.67 goes to the insurance company. Can you do the math?
That's wrong, Mark.
What is it? $568.75, sorry. 568, I don't know what I did wrong. I'm 0.75. Okay, 568.75. So can you subtract 2,590 and subtract 568.75 from that? I can't believe we just did that live, folks. I literally cannot believe we just did that live.
I want to comment on that listing and be like, we just did this live. If anybody wants to see the recording, we're going to show exactly how to get back all the money.
Comment
we
on it.
Get a bunch of business.
Okay, $2,021.25. Okay, so folks, all of you have been around this campfire. You all know banks make money on spreads. You deposit money in the bank, they pay you an interest rate, they lend that money out at a higher interest rate. You all know that. So here's what we're doing. It's not that we're lending it or doing anything at a different rate. Here's the name of the game. Simple interest versus compounding interest. Simple interest versus amortized interest, okay? So we got to understand that. So over here, a 7.25% 5-year loan is $2,590 to pay this off. So I know the car will be paid back in 5 years to my policy, but $2,021.25 is the amount, technically, if you figured it this way, it's the amount every month it would make it to my policy and stay in, netting out the loan cost. So I'm already ahead of the game. So we're just going to call this spread one, okay? Spread number one. And if anyone has questions, put it in the chat, put it in the Q&A, I'll answer it. Spread number one is I make $2,021.25. Now, some of you are like, you're a dumbass because it's your own money. It is my own money, but I'm not a dumbass. Money must be in motion, folks. Your money has to be in a constant state of motion if it's going to survive. If it's going to make more money, it has to be moving. Listen, I could just keep this money in the policy. I could just keep this money in a bank account so I feel good, but that's not feeling good to me. That's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. My money's got to go to work. Like my money's sitting lazy on the couch. That can't happen. This gets my money working. And I don't have any desire to do anything else besides this right now. So that's the spread. But here's the thing you don't know. And Brandon, I want you to do some math here for me. What I would like you to figure out is every single month, if I took a $130,000 amortized loan, okay, for 725, 5 years, and I were to pay it down by $2,590 every month, what is my effective APR after year one, year two? Can you figure that out?
Yeah, can I get my computer? I have a program for that.
Go get your computer. We got time. Well, you got to do it quick, so run. All right, so I'm going to show you, but I'm going to take a stab at this. All of you are fixated on 525. Okay, that's how much the insurance company is going to charge me to borrow this money. But you realize I'm not going to pay the insurance company 525 effectively. Everybody understand why? Here's why. Every month, I am reducing this $130,000 loan that the insurance company gave me from their general account. The insurance company gave me a loan from their general account. Okay, from their general account, that's where my death benefit would have been paid from. So if I die before this car loan is paid back, my wife needs to understand she gets a car and whatever the amount I didn't pay back is the amount that's going to be subtracted from her death benefit. So in the beginning, my death benefit will show $130,000 less because I took a $130,000 loan. My 180 never left the account. And just for simple purposes, just if I had 130 in cash value, just so you guys are looking at the same numbers, it's all the same, okay? So if I had 130 and I took 130, you all know that the 130 didn't leave my account. The 130 collateralized the loan that the insurance company gave me from the general account, which they then subtracted from my death benefit. That's how the insurance companies do this. Remember, I said I got to keep my money in motion. The insurance company has to keep their money in motion too. You see, insurance companies, unlike banks, have to have the money that they guarantee to you when you die. So if you got a $1 million death benefit and the insurance company doesn't have $1 million, they are out of compliance. They have to have the money. So they have to move that money. They have to make interest on that. They're making 525, which is about what they'd make on treasuries, right? From what we showed. So now what I'm doing is every month, I'm repaying the policy $2,590, effectively reducing the $130,000 loan. So let's just do the math. And Brandon's got his calculator to figure out that, but let's see. 130, no, 2,590 times 12. So every year, if I do this, I'm paying the policy back $30,080. That's how much money I'm paying it back. This is gonna get cool, folks, so please pay attention. I know we're gonna go a couple minutes over. This is worth the wait. So $31,080 every year is being repaid. So if I subtract that from 130, okay, that means in 12 months, the loan balance with the insurance company, it's a little off because I'm not calculating the interest in, but it's about $98,920. $98,920 at 525 is less than $130,000 at 525, right? So, and Brandon, when you get those percentages, so let's just do the math. 98,920 times 0.025, whoops, 98,920 times 0.0525, $5,100. So remember, before I was paying $568.75. Now in 12 months, month 12, I'm giving the insurance company $432.78 a month in interest. You see that? It was $568. Now it's $432. What do you think happens in month 24, month 36? Okay, month 48. Do you think this is going to go down, down, down? And if it goes down, what is my effective annual yield? Did you figure that out? If you didn't, here, I can do it pretty easy. So 12 months in, 432.78 times 12 divided by the 130 that I took, 3.9%. So I'm paying well, it's actually 4%. Well, 3.99 looks better. So you see, after 12 months, folks, I didn't pay the insurance company an effective yield of 5.25. Yes, they charged me 5.25. They charged me 5.25 on a declining balance, which means if I factor the whole thing, I only paid them 3.99. Now, how many of you think my $130,000 in cash value is making more than 3.99%? Anyone think? For all my policies, you think the blended return is more? Am I tiring all of you out? But are you guys picking this up? Chris said yes. Of course it is. I'm compounding over here. My compounding rate is going up. So let's just say all my policies, the blended is probably 5.6%. I was making a spread before I even got started. But because I'm compounding up over the course of these years, I'm actually making more and more because I'm not making interest on 130. I'm making an interest on 130 plus the interest and dividends compounded. So this one's going up, this one's going down. Everybody understand it? Let me say that again. My money is compounding up. The loan from the insurance company is coming down. My spread, my second spread, so spread number 2 or spread number 1, whichever you want to do it, will always go up every year that I do this with this car. Now, what are the risks here? Well, the risk is I got to make a $2,590 payment back to my policy. Is that a risk? This is an interesting question. Yeah, I suppose it is. If I lost my income went down, I couldn't afford it, those are the risks. But every time I make that payment back to my policy, okay, this is where being your own bank is totally different than the way your mind and the way you've been taught money works. You don't think this way. You've never been taught to think this way. Every payment I make on this stupid car I just bought is money I have in my policy the next day. Do you understand that? I lost no control of my money. I lost no control of my money. So where was my risk? Where's my risk? My risk is that car is a beast. I got to be careful with that thing. That is a 1979 fire-breathing Widowmaker. If I decide that I'm smarter or better than the car will teach me a lesson. That's the risk. Hence why risk number 2 is mitigated, because I got myself a nice old big fat death benefit. Hey, if you like this video, check this one out to show you how to get all the money back for every dream car you ever buy. And that's a wrap. I'll see you on the next What Now? What's Next?